Welcome back to the Rhonda Swan Show. Well, I've got a little bit of magic for all of you today. As you've been watching, we have been bringing on a number of different, not only authors of the new and upcoming book, Women Gone Wild, but unbelievable women that are using their gifts and changing the world. And today I have a second timer here on my show, and I'm so excited to have her back. It's Patti Negri, our psychic medium and good witch. She's also best known for her reoccurring role on the Travel Channel and Discovery Plus #1 show, Ghost Adventures, and the #1 paranormal show on YouTube, TFIL, with ELTON, CASTEE. Patti has graced numerous magazine covers, contributed to over 20 different books, and conducted seances on radios, film, TV, working with legends like Emma Stone, Jon Voight, Josh Duhamel, Chevy Chase, and Gregory Hines. She has a popular weekly podcast called The Witching Hour, and we are so excited to have you here, Patti, because I think today is the Wednesday of the Witching Hour, right?
It is the Wednesday of the Witching Hour. It's actually the Wednesday of the Witches movie Coven. Ooh. Witching Hour is all the time everywhere. We drop on Monday, but we started going, the Witching Hour is great because it's very it's inspirational, it's empowering, but then sometimes you just want to talk about movies.
Yeah, right.
So that's the Witches movie Coven. And I've got Heather Green. She literally wrote the book on movies and witches Witches have been portrayed in movies since the 1800s, since movies were, the good and the bad and the ugly and the right and the wrong and everything like that. So yeah, but we're getting close to Halloween. We're in witch season. So every day is witchy day.
Right. So what are some of the best movies right now that you're talking about for this Halloween, month?
What we talked about today is one of my favorites. We're going way back to 98, and that's Practical Magic, because it's got Sandra Bullock, it's got Nicole Kidman, it's got Diane Weiss and Stockard Channing. It's like a love story rom-com, and it's got the witchy stuff and kind of the realistic witchy stuff, except for the possession scene. But yeah, so that's what we talked about. Next week, of course, we're going to go to the Ultimate Wizard of Oz, which actually is what shaped my life.
Right.
I'm still working on showing up in a big bubble. I've got the big pink dress, but I want to show up. They make those exercise bubbles. I'm working on it.
Okay, that would be the ultimate costume if you literally showed up in a bubble.
I know. I'm working on it. So we're going to talk about that this week. Last week we talked about the new Hocus Pocus with Bette Midler and crew. So yeah, it's just fun.
I love it, Patti. I mean, every time I get by you, not only your energy is just so contagious, but just what you bring. You literally just told me, let's see, I've been in 4 different places here. I've been in 14 different places here. I'm ready to go here. What is going on with you, your schedule, the things that you do in the magic side? Because I think it's such a fun little mystery, and people go, ooh, we've got a good witch, right? And what does that mean? And is she real? Is she really Ghost Adventures? Is it real? Let's go into that space, because the work that you do is so grounding, and I just love to learn about it.
Yeah, Ghost Adventures is real. It wouldn't be in 28 seasons.
That's right.
People do, and the reason actually they'll even make fun of that because they're big and they committed to what they're doing. But that's why they're in 28 seasons. Watch kids play ever when they're committed to whatever, and you dial it up to 110. That's what they do. And believe me, if I know where I'm going, I don't get to know where I'm going. Then I don't go inside. They don't want anything preset. I show up at a place, and it's literally, you go inside, and Patti, you tell us what happened, both on the medium side, the psychic side, and the witch side. So, and my whole, it's fun. I've been working with now Jack Osborne and Katrina Weidman on Portals to Hell, all my YouTubers stuff. And they keep getting younger and younger. This weekend, I work with my just turned 15-year-olds. But they're so open, and it's not about ghost hunting or anything. It's about, there's so much more to life than what we see right in front of us. And there's magic there. Yeah. So if you just tweak somebody's idea of magic, even if it's on a silly TV show or YouTube, or Bad Girls Club or Nicole Richie show, it's you're bringing this new, wait, I can control my life. Wait, I could take track of my life. I don't have to do what everybody tells me to do, in a good way. So it's really all about empowerment and getting to an audience you wouldn't get to if I was just somebody who wouldn't read my book per se, or somebody's not going to see me speak at a Paracon.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of your book, because I have it, because I met Patti in New York, in LA when we did the first Women Gone Wild book launch, which was very exciting. And I've read this, so many killer practical tips, old world magic for the modern world, tips, tricks, and techniques to balance, empower, and create a life you love. Now, in the back of the book, you say, use your inner magic to solve problems and create a happy life. And you just said that it's empowerment. Like a lot of people go, oh, this is this hokey pokey stuff. But in reality, it's more about empowerment and tuning into not just this physical world we're in, right? Talk about why you wrote this book and how you are, inspiring and empowering so many different generations now.
Right. Yeah. Because again, I've been a victim a lot. I had health issues and I work with people, my one-on-one clients every day. And what I just notice is people do give away their power. Yeah. They give away their power to other people. They give away their power to just limiting belief systems. They give away their power to fear. And the tiniest little tweak, you move your vision 1 inch and you see a whole other world. So in just going, and I'm an LA girl. I don't have time for a lot. I'm fast. I'm simple. So it's like, and I'm an elemental witch. I work with air and fire and water and earth, like Native Americans, like any shamanic. So yeah, it is really great I'm going to meditate for an hour. It's like, I don't have an hour. I have 30 seconds to pull it down. I'm going on with the Rhonda. The Rhonda's, I just got up. Okay, 30 seconds. How do you do it? Oh, wait, that's my emotions. I'm going to run my hands underwater. I think water releases every shower you've ever taken. Oh, wait, it's in my head. I've got chatty head. Oh, that's my air element. That's breathe. I'm not breathing right now, am I? We need to stop and breathe. Wait, I'm not feeling grounded. Touch wood, grab a stone, grab a crystal, hug a tree. There's something true that. So I just came up. It's really a book of life hacks. Everything from, a love chapter on how to bring love into your life, why it's good to eat basil if you're in an argument, why you want to keep your room clean if you're looking for love, stuff like that. It's simple. You don't have to be a witch. You don't have to be a psychic or a medium. It's just like little observations of having what we have all around it on this beautiful planet to jump in and take charge.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like these lessons that we've known for, thousands of years, that it's like the different lens. How do we bring it through that allows someone to actually see it? And I think the way that you do it, right? It's like, my family's American Indian, Cherokee Indian. So you really resonated with me immediately when you said I'm an elemental witch. I'm like, so am I. Because my family, right? We just use the elements, and you do. It's like what you just said. I wanted to kind of repeat this because people don't think that way. If you're in your head, it's just the air element. Breathe. Breathe. Right? Like that alone could shift someone's, their day, just understanding how to use that. If you don't feel grounded, grab wood, touch the earth, and these are techniques that, that I think that our chicken with our head cut off kind of society is just forgetting.
We're just like this. Right? Yeah. Or take a pill.
Right.
Maybe you don't need to take a pill.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need to do it. And I work a lot with sound too. We know how important words are, but just sound. Think about it. If your head's all chatty or foggy because nobody's breathing anymore, because we're always in a hurry, just vowels. Think about it. Whether every sacred word almost is a vowel. Think about it. Amen. Om. After Om. Ooh. Native American. Hey, East Indian. Yeah. Falling in love. Rolling. It opens up this whole crown of illumination. So if you're going, I can't think straight. I've got to go. Or Om or E-I-E-I-O with your kid. The chatter stops. The fog lifts. The clarity comes in.
You literally gave me goosebumps on that. I
guarantee it.
It's really simple.
We forgot. Early humans knew it because they were out in nature. I mean, you live out in nature, but some of us, we've got the city, we've got controlled light, we've got controlled temperature, we've got controlled everything. We don't look up. We don't look at the moon. We don't look at the sun. I mean, just following the moon cycles changes everything. People, who knows that? We are almost 60% water. Everybody knows, the full moon is crazy, right? Everybody talks about if they work in a hospital or police say, crazy full moon. Right. But what if we tapped everything? What if every full moon we got outside if we can? Being gratitude, number one, we know gratitude. Being gratitude for thank you for everything I have. Whoever you're thanking, God, your higher power, your higher self, your guides, the moon itself. Thank you, thank you. And then ask for what you want to, because every belief system says to ask. So thank you for my beautiful 1-bedroom apartment. I love it. I'd like a 2-bedroom apartment, please. Whatever that is, it's a 2-day option. Don't get crazy. We are tapping into your tide, your 60% moon. The next 2 weeks while the moon is waning or getting smaller, wake up in the morning going, waning. I'm going to let go of, I worry too much. I don't take enough time for myself. I'm going to eat less carbs. Anything you do during the waning moon, you look out the window, it's written on every cell phone, it's written on every calendar, is 10 times easier if you do it during the waning moon. If you get down to the dark moon, the new moon, that's when you go inside a minute. What do I want now? Not maybe what I want last month, or what does the world want for me, or my family want for me. And the next 2 weeks of waxing moon, it's getting bigger. Add into your life more love, more sex, more lunch with your girlfriends, more time for myself. So literally now you're doing what we all strive to do, consciously creating every day, with 2 weeks of adding what we want and need, that celebration and gratitude, and the ask for what we want. And then the releasing what's no longer serving us. And it's like breath, and it's crazy. Everybody I know has done it. The good stuff in your life gets better, faster and faster. The stuff not good or bad that you don't need falls away with the grace and ease of the moon. We are on this little planet. We have these tides. So simple stuff like that.
And it is so practical. And I love when you said that about the tides. My family, we live on Bali, so we're literally the ocean's here. And my families we're surfers, right? So it's like everything, the tides coming with the tides. And if as long as you allow your body to flow with your tides, and there's a really good practical with the waxing and the waning moons. Like I never thought that way. Like, bring more in as we're waxing, let it go as we're waning, right?
Yeah.
Simple ideas. And I think that's too probably why your YouTubers and the influencers that you're working with now are like, they're so aware of it, because they love to use these practical tips, and they're so connected more than I think even your generation, my parents' generation, our grandparents, right? I take that back. I think that my grandparents were very much aware, right?
And then it went away.
Exactly. My mom's generation.
I don't know, in the 50s or something like that, when everything got automated and Betty Crocker packaged potatoes or something. I don't know.
Right.
My mom's generation, it went away.
Yeah, exactly. In the Gregorian calendar, like really tightened us up. And all of a sudden now we're following this TikTok lifestyle. Okay. So I'm really getting this now. All right. So I want to talk to you about intuition more deeply, because with the work that you've done, and we had this conversation before about your life when you were a young girl and you already knew that you were this good witch, which was already coming out. Do you think that a lot of that realizations and what you've done as a young person now has brought you in to where you are now, in the roles that you are, and the role that you're able to play now? Has intuition played a factor in, boom, all this, awesome, successful stuff that you've got?
Yeah, completely. And again, not that I didn't fight it kicking and screaming along the way. It's like, no, I'm going to do this. I've gone in from the medical profession, been on the actor side, been a producer, I've run a production. It's like, but it keeps bringing back here. But it's a dance. There is fate. There is destiny, where we're destined to be. There is fate, and there's free will. Yeah. And those of us who can learn to dance and use that intuition that we are given, that we forgot about somehow. It's our modern Western non-mystical society that forgot the magic. We took away the magic, and that's where our intuition lives.
Yeah, and that's why I'm excited about the book Women Gone Wild. We haven't revealed it really yet, Patti, a little bit. That Patti's going to be one of our public figures, celebrity authors, which we are so incredibly grateful for you bringing your knowledge and your wisdom. And I think that what you just said, it's about awakening us to that magic that's already within us, right? We've just been kind of shoved and told not to follow it. What do you think, Patti, when it comes to to getting that message out there, right? This is the Women Gone Wild book's about women really following their intuition, and how do they tune into that magic? What do you think is the bigger message for women today when it comes to intuition?
I think I honestly, even getting into the pandemic, I think that was a great big slap. The universe, God, higher power, whatever, was like, you guys are asleep. You're asleep
come
at the
on.
wheel. And they
Right.
tried to shake us and we didn't wake up. And they threw water in our face and we didn't wake up. And we're going through the motions. We use the words like asleep at the wheel, phoned in, automatic pilot. There's no intuition in any of that. I go to work, I come here. And so it was literally like slap you in the face, go to your room, literally for 2 years and stay there and to figure out what's important. We were, you know, sent to our room. And some people like, oh, wow, we are coming out with, I was quiet. And I think that's why there is a big spiritual awakening. I think that that's why a very elemental awakening. I think for our planet, we have to, you know, times are scary. So people tend to go back to a belief system. They go back to their religion. Great. Some people, their religion maybe isn't completely keeping up. So they're finding new alternative spiritualities. And even people who maybe aren't, I don't even want any spirituality or I don't want. So they're going to go more self-help or they're going to go become ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, because they want to know there's something more than they see on the TV. And they want to know that they can have some control and that they have choice. And intuition will give you all of that. We are these brilliant beings, and we forgot.
Yeah. It's like I'm seeing it's like the awakening, and I think part of my bigger mission, I believe yours as well, is like how do we just give that little hint? Because you know those moments where you're like, oh wait, oh, and you got the idea came. It's just because someone gave you that little bit of a hint or an awareness that says, wait, things can be differently. They can be done differently. And I do believe too that the pandemic changed that a lot because everyone literally had to sit in front of themselves unless they were just numbing themselves out, which many did. Because now as we're opening up and the world is opening, what I'm finding and seeing with women, and you can add to this one, is that they're either very tapping into, you know, their spiritual side and their intuition, or they're going really hard because they feel like they have to go heavy in the masculine and work really hard. So I'm seeing like, it's like we're tipping on both scales, overly feminine or overly masculine, right? So like, what do you think about that? Like how do we start getting this flow together so they really understand the power?
Yeah, I think you're right 100%. I agree with you. Because again, the pendulum swings and it's big and all this movement. So it's going to go this way and it's going to go that way. But at least they woke up. At least we're waking up. Again, some aren't. Some numb themselves out. A lot of people are leaving, you know. But I think it is going to even itself out. And weirdly, that's why I think, like my world, nobody has to be a witch. Nobody has to be elemental. Nobody has to know the Native American way or shamanic way or Peruvian way. But many people are. It's what I'm noticing is like, it's not just we're going to go save the planet. It's like people are seeing fairies and they're seeing gnomes. People who are, it's like, well, yeah, they've always been around and they just kind of hid. But now we have to bring them back out because we have to save this beautiful planet. And as we look at this reaction and consciousness, then our intuition comes back. Sit by a tree with your butt on the ground and your spine along the trunk of the tree. Ask for wisdom. I mean, in every belief system, the trees are the wisdom keepers. The Kabbalah, the Kabbalistic tree of life. They have the answers. So we have to listen.
You know, I typically go every 3 months, Patty. I go away in nature, like with zero amenities, like a 3, you know, hut with a little tiny mat. And I do water fasting and I literally just sit in the earth and next to the fire because our world does get us a little, there's so much going on. And I find that the moment that I do that, the wisdom does come and you're like, but it's not like, oh, this is my wisdom knowledge. I already had it inside of me. I just am aware of it. Right.
Yeah. Because the chatter slowed down a little. The chatter stopped. They do this, do here, do this, do here. It's like,
right.
And again, it is a different world because it is a TikTok world. It's used to, when I was a kid, it's like, oh, it's an MTV generation. It's not a 3-minute MTV. It's a 15-second TikTok world.
Right. Well, let's talk about University of Magicus because I know you do a lot of this work there. And my daughter Hannah Lay's like, oh, I forgot. Patty's got this university.
I do. And it's universitymagicus.com. And we have a simple, light name. And we literally call it a real life Hogwarts. And it's an old school spirituality school. We do not teach any one belief system at all. We do not say this is the truth. Or we have over 20 teachers now from very witchy people to very new agey people to Reiki masters to hypnotists to astrologers to my vampire partner. He's a good vampire, no drinking of blood. To we just brought a werewolf on.
Wow.
Now, he doesn't dress up in a fursuit. He's actually a professor at the University of Washington, but it's that embracing life.
Yeah.
They just like it's, and we have a Catholic priest. We have and everything in between. So it's like a smorgasbord going, learn a little bit this. Let's learn about crystals. Let's learn about positive thinking. Let's learn about this. And then you create, who's to say one way is better than the other? And I think if we have knowledge is everything.
Yeah.
And then you get to create, to me, your belief system, I see the energy below it. And my grandfather was this big famous philosopher, but atheist. He came out the back door. He knew every religion, but he thought it was a weakness. I think it's a strength, and you pick the one that guides you. It guides you. So it's a smorgasbord. Here, learn a little bit. Oh, I want to know a little bit more about Zen Buddhism. That works for me. Oh, I want to know. And then, I just throw it all in one great big cauldron and use from everybody. I like this Judeo-Christian part. Oh, I like what Jesus teaches here. Oh, I like the Buddha here. It's like, because I can.
Yeah, it's like a smorgasbord. I love that because our family too, we've been traveling for 15 years and everyone always asks, oh, are you Catholic? You're this? I'm like, no, we're just spiritual and we pretty much take what we love and leave the rest and turn it into your own values. That's what you can do as a family. And it's actually okay. Like, it is okay. Everyone has told you, no, you have to do this, or the Catholic religion got very strong and what they've done. But I'm really happy to see society and those that are becoming more awake and, more alive and activated saying, okay, we're here for a purpose. Patti,
it's empowerment is what
it's empowerment.
Yeah. Not because somebody told you that's truth, that you figure it out yourself. Yeah. Is that your truth or not? Just because somebody wrote it down. Yeah. And the teachers of all the masters and ascended masters say that too. It's just that humans messed it up along the way. Totally. Humans messed it up, Christianity in the 1500s. And then it's like, because we're human, we're silly, we're flawed, but we're beautiful. But it's just taking the power back. Yeah,
we just got to, and backtrack. When people really do backtrack and actually start looking at the history of what took place and what really took place with the witches, though that's a whole story in itself. I don't think we have time today to talk about that, but like literally that story of why those witches are shunned is why we're here today talking about women empowerment and bringing women's light out, right? And not suppressing because of fear of what the powers that we have as women, right? That's definitely there for another conversation. Yes. Patti, I'm so happy to have you not only part of my life, part of my family's life, but also contributing to the magic that's coming out with Women Gone Wild and the mission that we're on in this Intuition edition. I want to make sure everyone also, where'd your book go? Oh, we moved it. I dropped it. So make sure too that we'll put your book down below because your book is really awesome. And what you talked about earlier, those little practical things, so simple, right? Simple
easy.
Stuff.
I spent more time unwriting it than writing it. Super
right.
simple.
Yeah, I bet.
It's TikTok worthy.
Yeah, it is. And so what's next for you, Patti? What should we, we're obviously going to follow you and your university Magicus. I know that we've got paranormal, the streaming.
Paraflix.
Right? Paraflix.
If you like paranormal, we have a streaming service. It's like Netflix, but it's all paranormal. Because if you are like paranormal, you've already seen everything on Travel Channel and everything on. But we have 80% new contacts. So I just keep saying yes. And I'm on the road right now because it is. So I'm all over the world, literally from the States to Australia and Europe and back. And it's just jump in the pool, everybody. You don't have to test the water. You're going to swim. You're going to fly.
And float. Yeah, float. Enjoy it. And come along for the beautiful journey and bring in the magic. Just call it in the magic. Yeah. So remember, don't forget the waxing and the waning moon, right? It's time to bring more in and let some go, depending on where we are in your cycle.
Right. I worry too much. Stop that. I can embrace how beautiful I am. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Patti, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're going to get on a plane soon. We will see you so soon. And good to see you here, babe. And we'll see you next time. Don't forget to be unstoppable and stay wild.